Okay, good morning, guys. What we learned so far from the earlier classes? Okay, our subject started with the transmission lines. In that very first class, you learn what is meant by transmission line. What exactly the transmission lines means? Transmission lines are the physical medium which is used to carry information from one place to another place, right? It contains two ends. One end is called source end, another end is called destination end, right? Of course, the transmission line is especially suitable for low range of frequencies. When we consider the high range of frequencies, that high frequency liable to radiate from the transmission line. That's why high frequencies are not suitable. Okay, for the transmission line. Okay, and to travel through transmission line. Okay, that is the point you learn. And next class, I mean, in the next slide, what are the different types of transmission lines? So already you know what are the different types of transmission lines are physically available. First one is the two-way transmission line. The second one is coaxial transmission line. Waveguide. Okay, waveguide is the actually this is the concept of your EMTL, but for your syllabus, that waveguide is exempted. Okay, that waveguides concept is exempted, and add this concept in microwave engineering. Okay, of course. Not part of the syllabus, but just know waveguide is also a part of transmission line. But what is the physical difference between that actual physical transmission line and waveguide? And the waveguides are always shorter in length, whereas physical transmission lines, wow, okay, they are in very uh, lengthy. Okay, that waveguides are always made up with thick aluminum plates. Okay, whereas the transmission line is the very thin aluminum wires. Okay, of course, the waveguides, according to their shape, that waveguides are two types: rectangular waveguide and circular waveguide, and just like a pipe. Okay, just like a pipe, they look like. That's why there is a circular. Okay, and rectangular waveguides are also there. They are in the rectangular shape. Okay, which is having length, width, and thickness, different dimensions. Okay, just leave it. And next one is the planar transmission lines. See here, stripe line, microstripe line, slot line, and fin line. Already you know where these lines are suitable. Okay, where exactly these lines are suitable? Okay, especially to provide the communication within within the IC. Generally this type of transmission lines are preferable, okay, to carry the signals. Next, analysis of the difference between low and high frequencies. Okay, this is the general concept. What is the difference between low frequencies and high frequencies? Already you know what exactly meant by frequency, what is meant by low frequency, what is meant by high frequency. Okay, and here we introduce the concept called lumped and distributed parameters. What is meant by lumped and distributed parameters? Lumped parameters. Lumped means they are physically touchable. Distributed parameters are they are not physically touchable, but okay, the values of those distributed parameters vary with respect to length, right? At the same time, at low frequencies, lumped parameters are significant, and distributed parameters are insignificant. Okay, but at very high frequencies, that distributed parameters are significant. Of course, there is a relation between lambda c and f. Lambda equal to c by f is the fundamental formula. Okay. Next, metallic cable transmission media. See here, metallic cable transmission media. Metallic cable transmission media. And without metallic cable, is it able to carry the information? Of course, they carry the information, but that information must be in the form of other than electrical. Then only it is possible, right? Okay, metallic cable conducts the signals in the form of voltage or current, right? But if we want to establish a transmission line, but if we want to establish a transmission line, but that is not in electrical form, then only non-metallic transmission lines are existed. Okay, can you tell me the example of that non-electrical form of the information? Non-electrical form of the information. Example, okay, optical fiber, right? In the optical fiber, uh, how the information is carried by the optical fiber. The actual information is carried by the optical fiber by the means of light, right? By the means of light. Okay. Of course, light is not a electrical form. It is the okay, what it called. Okay, of course, electrical pulses, but that is in the range of visible light, right? Visible light region. Okay, and whose wavelength is quite different. Okay, to carry that information, simply we use optical fibers, right? Optical fibers. Okay, that is metallic cable. No, that is not a metallic cable. It is simply just like a hard plastic. Okay, flexible plastic, that is. Okay, otherwise it is simply breakage. Okay, if it is not a flexible plastic, it is simply breakage because of the foldings. Okay, so I'll tell you that here the metallic cable transmission media. Okay, metallic here transmission lines are used which are made up with metallic or metals. Okay, okay. Generally, there are two types as balanced or unbalanced transmission lines. Okay, balanced transmission line and unbalanced transmission lines. Okay, already we discussed, but okay, we will discuss it later again. Okay, why? Because this is not a this early concept. Okay, next metallic transmission line equivalent circuit. Already you know. Okay, what is the equivalent circuit of the transmission line? What are the different parameters available or distributed over its length? What are those parameters? Distributed resistance, capacitance, inductance, and conductance. Okay, those are the uh, equivalent circuit of the transmission line contains. Okay, that's why that RLGC parameters are called primary constants. Okay. Next, wave propagation on metallic transmission line. How that wave propagated in metallic transmission line. And next one is the transmission line losses. Okay, generally what type of losses are existed. Okay, of course the next one more classification is there. Okay, phasor current and voltages. Okay, already we discussed a single section of transmission line. Okay, from the equivalent circuit of the transmission line, we have to segment the entire transmission line. Already I told you one example and how many current poles are existed in between Eluru to Hyderabad. Okay, with 1 kilometer distance having 10 current poles, then how many electric poles are existed? Okay, that 1 kilometer is the one segment. See here, this is a single section of transmission line means for that 1 kilometer, how many current poles are existed? See here, next one is characteristic impedance and propagation constant. Already I told you what is meant by characteristic impedance and propagation constant. Uh, okay, what is the alternate name of that characteristic impedance and propagation constant? RLGC are the distributed parameters of the transmission line, and they are called primary constants, right? Similarly, characteristic impedance and propagation constants are the secondary constants of a transmission line. Characteristic impedance and propagation constants are secondary constant. Okay, RLGC, resistance, capacitance, inductance, and conductances are called primary constants. Okay, standing waves and reflection. Okay, already I told you what is meant by standing wave and what is meant by reflection. Standing wave. Okay, if the mismatch exists between, okay, the proper mismatch, okay, improper mismatch exists between source and load, then there is a possibility of existing multiple standing waves. Okay, standing wave. Okay, um, and is simply one pipe. When we consider a water pipe and one end is completely terminated and another end is sourced with some water, okay, and supplied with some water, okay, drop by drop, drop by drop, then there is no end, there is no end, I mean there is no secondary end, and I mean secondary end is not open. Because of that there is a existence of standing stagnated water, like there is a standing wave. And because of that impedance mismatch, or because of there is no open at second end of the pipe, okay, whatever we pour the water into that pipe is reflected back. Okay, that similar concept is existed here. Okay, that the same is we want to implement mathematically in the later classes. Okay, See here, types of transmission lines already you know: coaxial cable, twisted pair, open wire, twin lead. This is the metallic transmission line, open wire and twin lead. Metallic transmission line with unshielded twisted pair. See here, this is the okay. This is the regular picture. Okay, every day you see okay in real time. See here, metallic transmission lines and coaxial cables. Okay, already you know the coaxial cable always contains a inner conductor and outer conductor with inner insulator and outer insulator. Okay, and coaxial components, connectors, coaxial sections, attenuators. Of course, it is not a part of the syllabus, but just know. Okay. Hmm. This is the equivalent circuit of the two-wire parallel wire transmission line. Two-wire parallel transmission line, electrical equivalent circuit. Okay, these are the distributed parameters or LGC. Okay, this is called one section. Okay, this is one section of the transmission line. This is the one section of the transmission line. Okay, from this experiment, okay, from this equivalent circuit, okay, we have to develop one transmission line equation. We have to develop one transmission line equation. See here. Hmm. Okay, and actually this is the order. Okay, already you see what is the equivalent circuit of the transmission line. See here. Uh, Here they consider amplifier 1 and amplifier 2 are the two amplifiers. Okay, with notation 1 and 2. Um, Signal high side and signal low side. Okay, and signal high side means it is the source, and signal low side means it is the destination. Signal high side and signal low side, and actually that's the meaning of phase and neutral, right? Phase and not neutral, and 230 volts with respect to ground. Okay, there's the amplifier 1 and amplifier 2, and this is the signal high side. Okay, see here first of all, and here they try to elaborate what is meant by balanced and unbalanced. Okay, these isolators are not required. See here, metallic transmission lines of differential or balanced transmission system. Balanced transmission system. See here, balanced lines have equal impedances from the two conductors to ground, and with respect to ground, they are always possess identical impedances. Okay, with respect to earth surface, with respect to ground, and with respect to some reference, that reference is always zero here. Okay, that is the standard. With respect to that signal high side and low side, both are offers equal impedances, then it is said to be a balanced, okay, or differential transmission line. See here, twisted pair and parallel lines are usually balanced. Okay, just a second. Okay, this is the metallic transmission line under the balanced mode. And when we said this is the balanced mode or not, okay, when we consider a two-wire parallel transmission line or a twisted pair like, okay, which are having equal impedances with respect to reference, then it is said to be a balanced transmission line. And in that case, uh, you definitely get, when we subtract a 2 from 1, 2 minus 1 is the 1 always. Okay, for suppose it is unbalanced, 2 minus 1 gives us generally 1, but the output is either greater than 1 or less than 1. That is the unbalanced condition. Did you get it? What is the difference between balanced and unbalanced? Okay, what is the balanced and unbalanced? Okay, under the balanced line, and when we consider the balanced metallic transmission line, uh, when we give uh, 2 volts to one line and 1 volts to another line, at the end we get a difference of between the two supply voltages. That's why we get 2 minus 1. Then what is the result? 2 minus 1 means 1, and 1 volt. We get 1 volt, right? I think that is the balanced. If it is unbalanced type, if we give us the same, if we give here as the same input 2 and 1, output definitely not equal to 1. It is always less than equal to 1 or greater than equal to 1. That is the unbalanced type. Okay, see here. Metallic transmission line differential or balanced transmission system with respect to electrical form. Okay, signal voltages and noise voltages. Signal voltages and noise voltages. See here, this is the current at maximum current Im plus, and this is the minimum current Im minus. Okay, and plus or minus, just like a 230 volts. When you apply 230 volts, which is having some positive and negative, right? Positive half cycle and negative half cycle. At its peak, it offers maximum and minimum voltages. Okay, and these are the line impedances ZA and ZB. Okay, ZA and ZB, and this is the common terminal offers ZA and ZB as a ZAB, right? Okay, and the impedance offered between A and B terminals. Okay, and potential drop due to this Im plus is the Va, and potential drop due to this Im minus is the Vb. Okay, then the resultant voltage is Im plus equal to Im minus, and for suppose these two are equal, then Va equal to Vb. Then what is the difference? V out equal to Va minus Vb, minus of minus plus. Okay, why? Because this is Im minus, right? Because of that, here we get minus, and according to the summation, V out equal to Va minus Vb, minus of minus plus, then it becomes Va plus Vb. Okay, see here, these are the signal voltages. Similarly, for the noise voltages, I1, okay, I1 plus and I1 minus. Here the potential is Za, and potential due to Za is Va, potential VB due to, okay, don't confuse otherwise. Okay, okay, all these are okay, not necessary for your transmission line. Okay, just I want to tell you what is meant by balanced and unbalanced. Okay, it is not required, but just I want to convey the signal voltages and noise voltages balanced and unbalanced mode. Okay, and it is not a part of the syllabus, but okay, how that noise is cancelled in balanced and unbalanced. Okay, see here, Va and Vb, I1 plus and okay, I1 minus, Va equal to Vb. But regarding to the noise voltages, according to the phase shift, V out equal to Va minus plus Vb. Okay, see here. Okay, and these are the individual voltages. Okay, here this is the total voltage, and these are the individual voltages in the view of noise voltage. Okay, uh, okay, that's all. Okay. Okay, let's finish it off. Why? Because in-depth of this analysis may lead to slight confusion to you. Okay, and why? Because there is not, moreover, that is not a part of our syllabus. So just leave it, leave the topic, and this is the again first topic: ideal transmission line. Okay, what is the ideal transmission line, and what are the characteristics of the ideal transmission line, or simply what are the different types of transmission lines existed? Different types of transmission lines existed. Okay. See here, ideal transmission line. And if the transmission line is ideal, and if the transmission line is ideal, what it means, if the transmission line is ideal, there are no losses in the transmission line, right? If there are no losses, if there are no losses, if there are no distortion, there is no noise effect, okay, then that transmission line is ideal. Okay, okay. And from this point, can you classify the types of transmission lines? Types of transmission lines means, okay, no loss transmission lines, no distortion transmission lines, no loss and no distortion. Of course, noise is also comes under that distortion. That's why no loss and no distortion transmission lines are existed. See here, no losses means there is no loss. When there is no loss, when there is no resistance, when there is no resistance, when there is no resistance, or okay, when there is a much conductance, infinity, right? Okay, infinity, that is also unknown, right? Ante r value, r equal to z equal to 0, then that is called lossless condition. R equal to z equal to 0, then that is called a lossless condition. Okay, and no distortion means and you have to derive the expression, or you have to prove the same. R by L equal to G by C, or simply LG company equal to RC. LG, okay, this is very important competitive bit. LG equal to RC is the distortionless condition. Okay, and lossless condition means R equal to G equal to 0. R equal to G equal to 0 is called lossless condition. LG equal to RC is called distortionless condition, right? See here, ideal transmission line having no losses. Conductors have a zero resistance. Dielectric has a zero conductance. Dielectric material. Okay, and I mean isolation between two lines of the transmission line having zero conductance. Okay, it must be ideal. Okay, possibly only with superconductors. Superconductors means and that transmission lines must made up with either gold or silver, gold or silver. And if the transmission lines are made up with gold or silver, okay, is it available in the outside? I mean, uh, in the outside environment, if the transmission lines are established with the gold and silver materials, okay, is that people generally hold the transmission lines available for a long time? No, okay. That's why that superconductors are not preferred. Why? Because they are very expensive. Okay, and if the transmission line is established with the gold material, okay, for every 1 kilometer, they have to invest millions and millions of currency, right? Okay, instead, uh, the some of the that conductors are mixed with that gold and silver at a very light quantity, in a light quantity, and to make it superconducting and establish the transmission line. Okay, otherwise, simply aluminum lines are used as a superconductor. Conductors, okay, not a superconductors, just conductors. Okay, approximated, and next point is the approximated by a short line. And approximated by short line means shunt. Okay, that is called a shunt, used to provide reduce the losses. Okay, and next one is the no capacitance or inductance. No capacitance or inductance means no capacitance or inductance means actually appearance of the inductance on the transmission line is called loading. Okay, what is meant by load? What is meant by loading? Loading, load. Okay, and when we add inductance to the transmission line, then it is said to be loading. Okay, and when the inductance increases, okay, the current is also increases. When the current increases, okay, it is a heavy burden to that source, right? That's why no capacitance or inductance, okay, for an ideal transmission line. Okay, possibly with a real line only at DC, Possibly with a real line only at DC. What it exactly means? Possibly with a real line only at DC. Okay, what is the difference between DC and AC? Okay, what is the notation for the capacitance or inductance? Of course, the capacitance notation is C, right? Notation of the inductance is L. Okay, and then not I'm asking for that notations. What is the representation and a mathematic electrical form representation of that capacitor and inductor, or capacitance and inductance? Okay, the general form of that capacitance or inductance in practical form is R plus JXC, right? R plus JXC, what it means? Where R is called internal resistance offered by the capacitance and XC is the reactance, right? But in practical, for suppose when there is no AC, when what is meant by R plus JXC, what is meant by XC here? Okay, see here R plus JXC, okay, or 1 by simply JXC, okay, very general notation in a circuit element. Okay, what is meant by XC here? XC means capacity reactance. XC equal to 1 by 2 phi FC. Okay, 2 phi FC. Okay, okay. When we go to the derivation, I will explain with whiteboard. Okay, only for the representation here I am considering X equal 1 by 2 phi FC. Okay, when there is a frequency component existed, then only this term is existed, right? But here I am considering the DC. DC means frequency component is zero. Frequency component is zero means X is infinity. X is infinity means 1 by X equal to zero. Okay, and only the I mean 0.1, 0.2 ohms of resistance is existed in that capacitance only. Okay, only for that's why only real term here. This is the JXC is the imaginary term, but here possibly with a real line only at DC. And only this is the real part and this is the imaginary part. That's why it contains only the real part under DC conditions. Okay, that's the point that try to explain us. And similarly, with low frequencies and short lines, this can be approximated. Okay, and when there is no frequency, there is no imaginary term. But very low frequencies and very slightly, and there exists some slight frequency components, then we approximated almost zero. Okay, we approximated as almost zero. Okay, that is the meaning of no capacitance or no inductance with respect to low frequency and no frequency components. Okay, that is the point here. See here, next one is the traveling wave. Okay, okay. Basically, these waves are considered as a two types, as traveling wave until the wave is traveled, and another one is standing wave until the wave is standing. Okay, the wave is simply standing until there is no movement, right? There is no movement. Okay, see here, when the input voltage can be described as V of t equal to Vc cos omega t, and when I'm applying one cos signal with amplitude Vc. Okay, and simply this is the signal. Okay, uh, with amplitude. Okay, this is the amplitude of Vc. This is the cos omega t. Omega is the 2 phi f, nothing but frequency component. Okay. Yeah. And when we consider this is the input of transmission line. This is the input of the transmission line. Okay, this is the input of the transmission line. See here, the input voltage can be described as V of t equal to Vc cos omega t, where omega is the angular frequency, which is measured in radians per second. The traveling wave can be described as V of z gamma t equal to Vc cos omega t minus beta z. Okay, uh, did you get why they represented with V of z gamma t equal to Vc of cos omega t minus beta z? See here, the actual input voltage is Vc cos omega t, but when the traveling wave can be described as Vc cos of omega t minus beta z. Why they introduce that beta z here? What exactly mean by beta? Okay, okay, here they mentioned okay, beta is the propagation constant. Okay. And what actually the propagation constant means? What actually the propagation constant means? Okay, where z is called direction, where z is called direction. Okay, and wave propagation in the direction of z with propagation constant b. Okay, propagation constant b beta. Okay, and in the short form they represented as a b. Okay, uh, Vc cos omega t minus beta z, where beta is the propagation constant, which is always measured in radians per meter. Remember that okay, measurements. Propagation constant is the radians per meter. Radians per meter. Okay, and similarly current. Okay, current which is passing through the transmission line, I of z gamma t equal to Ic cos omega t minus beta z. Current and voltages are in phase. See here, here what is the what exactly it means? The traveling wave can be described as voltage and current. Voltage representation Vc cos omega t minus beta z, and current Ic cos of omega t minus beta z. What it means? That voltage and currents both are in same phase, right? And if for suppose that voltage and currents some delayed with some okay with some time or okay with some constant, then I of z gamma t equal to as Ic of cos omega t minus beta z plus some phi. Okay, and with some inclination angle, okay, or phase angle difference. Okay, but here not mentioned anything. That's why okay, the traveling wave here described. Okay, okay, all these are assumptions. Okay, not it. They are practical, but here assumption is both voltage and currents uh, uh, through transmission line moved with phase velocity. I mean phase difference of zero. Okay, did you get it? Okay, what here, what exactly they want to tell us means when we consider a piece of metallic transmission line, the transmission line is connected with one source. Okay, that source representation is Vc cos omega of t, Vc cos of omega t. Uh, if the traveling wave and if the wave is traveled and the wave movement starting from that source and wave is traveled, then that representation of the voltage is Vc cos of omega t minus beta z. Okay, where beta z is the propagation constant, and when the wave is propagating from one location to another location is propagating, but that is also having some direction, right? Okay, that direction is z, and similarly current is also having same direction and same phase with respect to voltage. I of z gamma t equal to Ic of cos omega t minus beta z. Okay, that is the representation. Both current and voltage are in the same phase. Okay, and it doesn't have any phase difference, right? See here, phase velocity and wavelength. Okay, here they give the relation between phase velocity and wavelength. See here, v of t equal to Vc of cos omega t minus beta z. Okay, that is the traveling wave representation. Okay, see here, v of t equal to Vc cos of omega t minus beta z. Uh, see here, uh, where generally what is meant by beta? Beta is nothing but propagation constant, right? Or simply That beta is also called as a wave number. What they called? Wave number. Okay, remember that point. Okay, it is also important in competitive exam point of view. That beta is also called as wave number. See here, at t equal to 0, at t equal to 0, okay, the wave is travel like this, okay, which is having some maximum and minimum, and its wavelength is 1 lambda. It is having 1 lambda. Wave number. Wave number means, okay, can you tell me what is the wave number of this lambda? Wave number beta into lambda. And how many radians it is? How many radians it is for a complete wave is 2 pi, right? And wave number and beta into lambda and 1 lambda kada. Here beta into lambda equal to, here replace 1 with beta. Beta into lambda equal to 2 pi, right? From that beta equal to 2 pi by lambda, right? Okay, already you know omega equal to 2 pi f. This is the fundamental expression for frequency in radians, right? Okay, when we substitute this 2 pi by lambda here, and otherwise, okay, simply 2 pi equal to omega by f, right? Okay, simply beta equal to omega by f. Okay, omega by f, f lambda. Okay, or simply 2 pi equal to beta. Okay, and if simply you have to substitute, right? Phase velocity, they want to derive, they try to derive the expression for, they try to derive the expression for wave phase velocity. Phase velocity, velocity equal to, what is the expression for velocity? Velocity equals to distance by time, right? Distance means this is the distance. Okay, this is the distance, this is the distance, distance is the lambda, lambda by time. Okay, where time is nothing but inverse of frequency, right? 1 by f. Okay, and lambda f is nothing but, lambda f is nothing but phase velocity. Lambda f is nothing but phase velocity. Okay, and when we replace that 2 pi with omega by f and simplify, then we are able to get alternate form. Okay, that alternate form is omega by beta. Okay, did you get it? And here from this slide, if you want to define phase velocity, velocity is nothing but distance by time. What is meant by distance? Distance is nothing but lambda. But time is nothing but inverse of frequency. That's why lambda by 1 by f. Okay, that's why from that we get f into lambda. Just simplify that f into lambda. F into lambda. Okay, where f into lambda. See here omega equal to 2 pi f, right? Beta equal to 2 pi by lambda. Otherwise, if we simplify that expression also, we get omega by beta, that is the alternate form. Okay. Then what is the conclusion from that derivation is phase velocity v suffix p, that is the standard notation, is defined as ratio of, okay, frequency in radians by wave number, or omega by beta. Remember that point, it is very, very, very important. Okay. See here at t equal to 1 by 4, at t equal to 1 by 4, okay, and this is the 1/4 value, it is shifted. Okay, and it is started from at it's 1 by 4th value at t equal to 0, and at t equal to, it is started. Okay, this is the 1, this is the 1 by 2, and this is 1 by 4, right? And this is the 1 by 4, and t equal to 1 by 4 is the point here. Okay, 1 by 4 start out meaning. Okay, similarly 1 by 2 means this is the half. Okay, t equal to 1 by 2, that is the shift. Okay, okay, that is the expression. Okay, what we learn from that phase velocity? Phase velocity is nothing but a velocity. Velocity is defined by distance by time. Distance is nothing but wavelength lambda, and time is nothing but inverse of frequency, that is 1 by f. Okay, when we simplify, we get f lambda. That f lambda is also written as omega by beta. Okay, that is the phase velocity. And what is meant by group velocity? Group velocity and a change in phase velocity is treated as a change in phase velocity is treated as group velocity. Change in phase velocity is treated as group velocity. Okay, that's why uh, group velocity Vg equal to d omega by d beta, d omega by d beta is simply treated as group velocity. Remember that point. Okay, and it means in today's class we learn two crucial points. Okay, what is meant by phase velocity, what is meant by group velocity, and what is meant by lossless and what is meant by distortionless. Okay, they are very very important. See here, and this is attenuation. Okay, what is meant by attenuation? Attenuation means resistance. Okay, because of that resistance, signal strength decreases. But signal strength decreases, is it abruptly, or is it means suddenly or gradually? Okay, that signal strength decreases always gradually or simply exponentially. That's why that attenuation representation. See here, V of z comma t equal to Vc into cos of omega t minus beta z is the waveform. But that signal strength decreases exponentially. That's why e power minus alpha z. What exactly z means here? Z is the direction of propagation. Z. Okay. Minus alpha means e power minus alpha means e power minus. Okay. Reduction in signal strength exponentially, that it means. Okay. But how much decreases it is? Alpha times. Okay, e power minus alpha z means, okay, that is the meaning. Okay, did you get it? Okay, simply hide this e power minus alpha z, and v of z comma t equal to vc into cos of omega t minus beta z is the traveling wave expression, right? Or okay, yes or no? Okay, but here they make it for attenuation. Okay, and that expression made it for attenuation. That's why here e power minus alpha z component is included. Why e power minus alpha z component is included? Why? Because attenuation or resistances not in the transmission line, that is the distributed system, and that contains the distributed components or LGC. That's why it doesn't abruptly changes the signal strength. Instead, they change gradually. That's why he included e power and exponential. Minus means decreases. Okay, but how much? Alpha attenuation constant it is. Okay, where alpha is called attenuation constant. Okay, or attenuation coefficient. That attenuation coefficient is always measured in decibels or simply Napiers per meters. Napiers per meters or in decibels. Okay, okay, and 1 dB equal to 0.115 Napiers. Okay, and of course here not there, but remember that point 0.115. Okay, that is a competitive bit. Did you get it? Okay, see here. Okay, representation. Okay. Attenuation. V of z comma t equal to Vc g per minus alpha z cos omega t minus beta z. What is the expression for it? Okay, did you know? Okay, yes, you know this expression. Alpha is the attenuation coefficient or attenuation constant. It is always measured in Napiers per meters here. What is the attenuation in decibels per meter? Okay, and they convert. Okay, attenuation in decibels per meter here representation. That's why it is a 20 log of e power alpha. Okay, it means uh, 20 into alpha log of log e. What is the value of log e? What is the value of log e? Okay, some 2.33, right? Okay, 2.636. Okay, into some 20. Okay, 2 point okay, that value into 60. See here, 1 ampere is 8.686 dB or 0.115 amperes. Okay, and simply 1 by 8.686, right? Okay, and from that they calculate. Of course, there is no need of okay this, but remember for competitive exam point of view. Okay, here phasor voltages and phasor currents. See here, this is the alternate form, that is phasor form, currents and voltages. Okay, a phasor can be used to represent a amplitude of a sinusoidal voltage or current. Okay, that's already you know, and is a phase difference from the reference sinusoidal of the same frequency. A phasor does not include any representation of the frequency. See here, v of t equal to v into e power minus alpha z. Okay, just hide this point. V of t equal to vc. Okay, in the earlier expression, v of t equal to v into cos of omega t minus beta z, right? In that, for suppose cos of a minus b, cos of a minus b means cos of a minus b means expansion. Okay, do the some expansion. Cos a cos b minus sin a sin b, right? Okay, from that are 2 cos a cos b, right? Okay, you multiply and divide with 2. 2 cos a cos b and cos of a plus b plus cos of a minus b. Okay, from that expression, if we simplify and separate the real and imaginary terms, okay, from that we get v into e power minus alpha z into e power minus j beta z, and that is the expression cos of a minus b, right? 2 cos of cos of a minus b expression is written in the form of exponential and isolate or separate imaginary and real terms. From that we get these expressions. Okay, e power minus j beta z and e power j omega t, right? Okay, has a phasor form of v, which can be represented as the amplitude angle form of v of angle phi, or in component form of a plus j beta. Okay, or simply a power j a plus jb, and a real and imaginary term. Okay, and simply that they convert that triangular representation form into exponential form and separate real and imaginary terms. Separated the real and imaginary terms. Okay, phasor currents and voltages. Okay, we will see in this topic in the next class. Okay, what exactly you learn from this class? What is the representation of the traveling wave? Okay, traveling wave notation, and actually source voltage and traveling wave voltage and currents, and what is meant by phase velocity and what is meant by group velocity. Okay, what is meant by attenuation, and what is the representation of the attenuation of that expression. Okay, relation between Napier's and decibels. Okay, phasor currents and voltages. Okay, this topic is not required. Okay, and from this point it is required. Okay, it is very simple. Okay, don't bother about it. Okay, finally we concluded it with one expression, but up to that point no need to derive all these. Okay, directly you have to take, okay, distributed parameters of the transmission line in the form of expression. That is the final point we have to require. From that point we have to started expression for lossy, lossless, distortionless conditions. Okay, that's all about today's class. I hope you understand and you learn something from this today's class. Um, okay, from the next class onwards, we'll go in detail about uh, okay, waveform expression for the transmission lines. Okay, that's all. That's all about this class. And thank you. Okay, sure. Okay, uh, okay, I will share this PPT. Okay, right now. Okay, don't worry about it. But actually I have a separate and clear notes about the transmission line, and if we go through that notes, it may take just 2 hours or 3 hours, and unit 1 and unit 2 totally it takes just 1 hour or 2 hours time to understand, and you are able to attempt any question from that unit. Okay, and that much of simplified notes I have. That's why, but I have to include few problems in that topic. Okay, that's why I'm waiting. Okay, just now. Okay, I will share the tender PPT. Okay, right now. So don't worry about it. But instead of this PPT, okay, that notes is very useful. Okay, I want to share that PPT right now. Don't worry about it. Okay, thank you everybody.